So let's break down what we know so far.
Okay.
A Tesla Cybertruck exploded, tragically killing the driver and injuring 7 people nearby.
Oh, wow.
But here's the twist. The police say it wasn't a Cybertruck malfunction. Apparently, the truck bed was loaded with gas tanks and camping fuel that were intentionally detonated.
Wow. And to make it even more interesting, investigators found firework mortars in the wreckage.
Really?
Yeah, and these aren't your average backyard fireworks.
Right.
We're talking serious explosive power.
Oh, wow.
Indicating a deliberate plan to, amplify the blast.
Now, remember all that talk about the Cybertruck's, crazy tough exterior?
Huh.
Well, it actually played a role in containing the explosion.
Really?
The sheriff even said that it helped protect the hotel's glass doors from being blown out.
That's wild.
Yeah.
This is where the story gets really interesting from, a technical standpoint.
Right.
The Cybertruck's exoskeleton is made from that ultra-hard, cold-rolled stainless steel alloy
Right.
that Musk has been touting.
Yeah.
It's designed to withstand impacts, but to see it hold up against an explosion like this,
Yeah.
that's something else entirely.
Makes you wonder what would happen if this had been a typical car.
Yeah.
We could be looking at a much larger disaster.
Absolutely. And we know the Cybertruck's built to be tough.
Yeah.
But this event is almost like an unintentional stress test.
Oh, yeah.
And so far, it seems to be exceeding expectations in terms of how well it contained the blast.
So we've got this incredible vehicle technology, a deliberate explosion.
Right.
What about the person behind the wheel?
Yeah.
The police know who the driver was,
Okay.
but they haven't released the name yet.
Right.
What we do know is that they had a military background.
And that detail adds another layer to this whole puzzle.
Right.
Was this incident connected to their military service?
Yeah.
Were they targeting the Trump International Hotel for a specific reason? These are the kinds of questions investigators are trying to figure out.
And it gets even more unsettling.
Really?
Surveillance footage shows the driver circling the hotel for a whole hour before the explosion.
Oh, wow.
Clearly, this was no accident.
Right.
They were planning something.
Right. That kind of premeditation is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
It suggests a very specific intent.
Yeah.
Which makes unpacking the motive all the more crucial.
Now, this is where things get really wild.
What?
Elon Musk himself is personally involved in the investigation.
That's unusual, to say the least.
Right.
I can't recall a recent situation where a CEO of his stature has been so directly involved with a criminal investigation.
Yeah, he's been providing authorities with information
Okay.
and even video footage from Tesla's charging stations
Wow.
to help track the driver's movements before the explosion.
Really? Yeah, it really highlights the interconnected nature of technology and law enforcement these days.
Right.
Think about all the data points Tesla has access to.
Yeah.
Charging locations, timestamps, even potential footage from the car's valves.
Wow.
It's a gold mine of information
Yeah.
that can be incredibly valuable in an investigation like this.
So we've got this almost sci-fi element of data tracking, but then there's the very real and human side of this story.
Yeah.
The FBI is now involved,
Really?
and they're looking into a possible terrorist angle.
Oh, wow, that elevates the whole situation to a different level. It means that authorities are considering the possibility that this explosion wasn't just a random act of violence,
Right.
but a calculated attack with a much larger purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, understanding the driver's motive becomes even more urgent.
This whole thing started with a Cybertruck explosion.
Yeah.
And now it's spiraling into a potential act of terrorism.
Right.
It's mind-boggling how quickly this event has escalated.
Yeah. It's a stark reminder that even with all our technological advancements,
Right.
we're still vulnerable to these kinds of threats.